Hi, good morning. I just got up, and something that was on my mind was I wanted to share with you um, the topic of siblings regarding abuse. And I have three brothers, and two older, one younger. And when I came out about the abuse, um, they sided with my parents, and they were very cruel to me, and I was terribly afraid of them, of seeing them in public, because um, my experience with them um, had already been bad. Growing up, my three siblings were encouraged and allowed to torment me as a child, and I was degraded. I was shamed. I was told that I was disgusting and I smelled. They barked at me. They didn't talk. They barked at me. They called me a dog. They called me it. Every day was torment with those and my parents, but this is regarding my brothers, so we're talking about my brothers, was torment with my brothers. I was a little girl, and I was afraid of my family and afraid of my brothers. I would do everything to avoid them because I knew what it meant. It meant if I didn't avoid them, I was going to be attacked, degraded, demeaned, shamed, embarrassed. Every awful thing you can think of was happening to me as a little girl. And I lived with that every single day. And as we grew up, and I was suppressing all this abuse by my parents, I didn't know any other way. I thought that was a normal relationship between siblings. I didn't know that was not normal. And so my relationship with my brothers as I got older was distant. They didn't want anything to do with me. I was still trying to have relationships with them by reaching out in contact and trying to have something, but they were always pushing me away and dismissing me. They didn't want anything to do with me, and I lived with that, and that was my normal. I didn't have any family. So as far as siblings go, usually, well, in my case, I can't say for anybody else's case but my own. Our household was abusive all around, and my second oldest brother, Danny, he had once voiced that my father used to take him out in the barn and beat him. Now, Danny grew up to be a drug addict and an alcoholic and an abuser. He overdosed and died. Now, my youngest brother, I don't know if he was abused or not, but he grew up as a very severe alcoholic and attempted suicide twice and succeeded the second time. And so I know he suffered something regarding this abusive household. He knew and lived with guilt, because I have a memory when I was little, being in my bedroom while my father was abusing me, and my little brother Dale, who couldn't have been more than 6 or 7, even maybe even younger, knocked on my bedroom door, and with his voice, he just said, hey, knocked on my bedroom door. And I think that was his little way of, he knew what was going on in there, and he was trying to stop it. And my father just yelled at him to get back to bed. And so I think my brother, my younger little brother, lived knowing about the abuse and that he couldn't do anything about it, and knowing all that information ate him up inside, and that's why he drank so much, and he was an alcoholic, and that's why he tried to commit suicide when he was younger, and why he committed suicide when he was older. Then we have my older brother. He is a monster. He's just like my parents. He is cruel to the bone. And I believed that he sexually assaulted me when I was younger as well. And I know he tried to assault me when I was 18, when I had a short time period of a couple of months where I lived with him. And during that very first night, he tried to have sex with his sister. And I was so shocked. I remember telling him, "What are you doing? I'm your sister." And I got up and I went and slept on the couch. And I this only led me to believe that he had done this before to me. And this wasn't something new. And he was so vicious with his verbal abuse that even as an adult, I feared seeing him in public. And I know the times that I did see him in public, he would verbally abuse me. Even when I was with my children, he would scream profanity at me and call me horrible names. And in public, he would make a spectacle out of himself to abuse me. And out of the brothers, that's the only one that's alive. The horrific one, like my parents. So it's weird how the 2 other brothers, they overdosed and they killed themselves. And I think that's because they had guilt and they had shame, and it ate them up inside. They had a conscience about what went on in that house. And it was too much for them. And it led to the addictions and the abuse, alcohol abuse and the drug abuse, and it's a shame. I'm just grateful every day that I didn't fall into those addictions. I didn't fall into alcohol or drug addictions or anything like that. And I know why that was. And that was because I had a child at 19 years old. I had a child. And that child saved me. He gave me something to live for and to protect. And So I'm going off topic a little bit here because we're talking about siblings. But something you should expect, at least in my case, my siblings did not support me. They supported my abusers. And they paid for it with their lives. And my older brother is a monster. So he lives his life as a monster. And someday, he's got this longevity thing like my parents do. They just won't die. And they're the worst of it. They won't die. I wish they would all just die and be done with it. But I don't know why. Okay, well, that's all I have to say about siblings. Those are my siblings. And that's what happened to them. And I'm sure I'll talk more about them some other day, but I had that on my mind this morning and I want to share. So, all right. Everyone have a good day. Bye.